everything, with the decisions, if you got Mimi and Jalen at home, and you bring a team that, here on difficult back-to-back, and then Hugo comes in with career highs, like Peyton responds. It just seems like all the decisions, all the things you do this season seem to be working out. I
think it just starts with the guys. I think, again, it goes back to, the beginning of the season. One of the strengths of the locker room has always been being able to win games when guys have been out, and we've sacked guys over the last 3-4 years and still have been able to win games. And that's just kind of the DNA of the locker room. And, you're just kind of, continuing to see that. I think everything starts with those guys, their competitive character, their understanding of the process, and their professionalism. So, I thought Hugo was great tonight, from the beginning of the game, taking on the challenge of guarding Giannis and just his energy in the offensive end. I think in games like this, you're looking to just win on the margins, right? So we kept him on a transition. We kept him, they shot 19 free throws, but I thought we did a decent job not fouling them. And then, we didn't have a ton of live ball turnovers. We got a shot up. And then those offensive rebounds at the end of the game with Jordan and Hugo and Ron and those guys and Luka, it's just a credit to them.
And Hugo, against the Lakers, he guarded LeBron and he guarded Luka. And then today he's guarding Giannis. Mm-hmm. He's not a big guy. He plays hard and all that. What is it about him that he's fearless in these matchups? Giannis is running him over at times and he can't get back up.
Yeah, again, I think it's not about stopping him, right? It's about managing and about taking tendencies and like you said, just managing the game and those things. So you're going to get scored on. You're going to get beat. When you're guarding the other team's best player, you have to have a toughness. You have to have a mindset, but you also have a trust from the other guys. To where where you're getting your help from. You know that guys are going to have your back. So. Him, Jordan, Baylor, Sam, these guys, Peyton's been great on shooters, guarding shooters, the last few games. So it just comes from their attention to detail and then the trust in each other.
You guys, without a question, are the hardest playing teams in the league. How have you instilled that in this group? And I know you talked about their competitive character, but how do you bring that out of them every night?
I think, like I said, it's just them. I think Brad does a great job. Just finding guys that have high competitive character. And I think when you come into the locker room, you want to play for the guy next to you. And then you're looking for nights to create ownership and responsibility. And kind of Boot said that when he got here. We'll start Amari, we'll start Ron. We want to validate work ethic. We want to validate the process by trusting all 12, 13, 14, 15 guys that are in the game. And when you can validate that through playing time and execution and development, I think you just kind of have that. So it starts at the front office and then it ends in the locker room with the guys, and then you're just looking for ways to validate the process of kind of what you do.
What kind of calming presence is Derek White on nights like tonight?
Yeah, he was good. They started to make a little bit of a run at the end of the third quarter with 3 minutes to go, and kind of went back with him a little earlier than I wanted to. But because of what you're saying, just his ability to either take care of the ball or get the ball where it needs to go. I thought that stretch was important, and so bringing him back in at the end of the third, I kind of thought he managed the rest of the game for us there.
And then Peyton coming off. A bit of an off night for him, but he never had 2 of those in a row.
No, I think that's, again, he's not just defined by scoring. So you look at this box score and this looks like a Peyton box score. But like I said, he's been guarding the other team's best shooter from time and has locked those guys down. He's had nights of rebounding. And so even the other night, just because you're not playing well doesn't mean it's defined as a good game and not a bad game. We need him in the game and we need him to do things for us to win. Tonight you saw the scoring version of him. And then again, you saw the ability to quote unquote bounce back, but he can handle the ebbs and flows, and you kind of saw that with his effort tonight.
And then I have one more, Gary. Sorry, you always talk about the response coming off that Nets game with the best offensive performance in history, and then you guys beat the Sixers and come out here and do this again tonight. What stands out to you? What do you like best about the way that they are responding?
We'll see how we handle shoot around on Wednesday.
All right, Celtics have won 3 games in 4 nights. As we get to the drain of the game, brought to you by John Stewart and Drain Cleaning, the name to know when the drains don't flow. Even when the first one doesn't go, that one flows for Sam Hauser, who again had 14 points for the Celtics tonight, 4 of 8 from 3, and 1 of 1 from 2 on that buzzer beater at the end of the first half. Celtics get the win. They're now 41-20, so they've got a 2-game lead over the New York Knicks with 21 games left in the regular season. All right, we're going to take a look at how the Celtics took control of this game. And even when Milwaukee tried to make a run, what the C's did in response. More Celtics postgame live right after this. Start your mornings off right every weekday at 10 a.m. with Zolak and Bertrand right here on NBC Sports Boston. It is presented by BetMGM, the sportsbook born in Vegas. Download the app today. Please gamble responsibly. Celtics, speaking of, they certainly covered the number tonight as they got the win 108-81. And the number that Eddie's always looking for pertains to sharing the basketball, Eddie. And once again, the Celtics took care of that, no problem. Two guys almost did it on their own as Peyton Pritchard and Derek White combined for 18 assists. But what did you think of the ball movement tonight and how it led to them, once again, getting the assists that you so often look for?
Yeah, we're at 31 assists tonight, right? So we're 12-0 when we got 29 or more assists, just so everybody know out there. But they couldn't stay in front of me right now, and that's what it was. I think that Milwaukee had bad effort, and we just took advantage of it, making the right plays, creating mismatches. Like Joe always wants to say, he wants to create those 2-on-1s. Look that's a 2-on-1 created right there. Put them in rotation, get into the paint, make paint touches. Good flare screen right there. There's nobody helping on the backside. I thought we just made fantastic reads tonight and passing up shots to get a better shot, a good shot for a great shot. And we were doing that all night. And I think that's what is the important thing with this team is that I always look at that. I look at the assist, and then I look at how our energy is on the defensive end. And if we have those two things combined, and then don't let Jason Tatum come back, and now it's going to be a problem. It'll be a problem for the league because I think now you got, Garza. See, this is what happened tonight. Let me tell you this. This is what really happened. You got Baylor Shireman, you got Hugo, you got Garza, you got these guys who are able to get confidence. You might have to call on them sometime in the playoffs. Things might get funky, get dirty, and you be like, I need him for just a few minutes. And that can change the momentum of a game. So just giving these guys this opportunity and then also those guys taking advantage of those opportunities, to me, this is a luxury that I don't think that any other team out there has.
Yeah, I think the one thing as well is, some people looked at it and said, they look at Nimi Keita being out, Jaylen Brown not playing, and they're on the second night of a back-to-back. They get in late. Some people probably think it's a scheduled loss. It's sitting right there. Joe Mazzulla just gets them to play hard. He's gotten them to play hard every single game throughout this entire year, and they're already at 41 wins here, 61 games into the season. All right, let's send it back out to Milwaukee, find out who won tonight's Tommy Award.
All right, Scal, the Celtics really out-effort the Bucks tonight. So I guess a lot of contenders, but I feel like I know where you're going with the Tommy Award.
No question tonight is the Hugo Gonzalez game. Right from the start, you get an opportunity to start. How are you going to impact the game? He drives the basketball, he gets an and one. He's crashing the offensive rebound, and we were pounding them on the offensive glass. A lot of it had to do with Hugo. Defensively, he had guys where he'd be guarding Giannis in transition. He had to help. He had blocked shots. He had steals. Guy did everything. Ran the floor, got layups. Played with a ton of energy. And on a back-to-back, it's not easy, but Hugo got it done. So Hugo wins the Tommy Award.
Yeah, the guy makes winning plays that don't always show up on the stat sheet. Tonight, they did. Best game of his young career, and it was fun to watch.
All right, fellas, thanks so much. Hugo Gonzalez, that's Tommy Award number 5. Chris Forsberg remembers all 5. He can name them right off the top of his head. No problem. Jordan Walsh, Jaylen Brown, still at the very top with 9 apiece. Coming up next, Caleb Burton, Chris Forsberg going to be sitting back in. Michael Hawley going to join them as well as we move it along to the Celtics postgame.
Lizard!
Time now for the dunk and dunk of the game. It's all about the dunk. You think it's a 3? Wait, bam! Hugo!
Turbo shot of espresso.
You didn't get enough.
Great job boxing out there by the Bucks. Look at that. Good job.
Guess who was there, too?
Giannis.
Good old Giannis.
Giannis saying, I'm going to travel now that I'm floor.
Oh, this is great. And take a look here, though, because who they have next, it's coming soon. And it is Charlotte. And Mark, our guy Mark, was able to create this buzz, because guess what? These are the best records in the NBA since January the 21st. You see the Spurs, they were undefeated in February. They got handed a loss in the start of March. But then the Celtics, and who's there? The Hornets, 14-4 since January 21st. So this is a team that you don't want to take lightly, even though their record not great, 10th in the East, 30-31.
They're one of the best stories in the league, Kayla. Like, they've come out of nowhere. Charles Lee,
give it up. Former Celtic assistant,
top assistant. But this is the perfect night to spotlight Charles Lee when you think about leading both the Bucks and Celtics, or helping them get titles. Charlotte, I mean, Concanipple this year, but then Brandon Miller, like the ball, they have a fun and an invigorating mix of players, and their net rating, I think, is the best in the NBA since back in January. Celtics need to be dialed in and ready. The way this team is creating hype might sound like the perfect night for Jason Tatum to come back.
We knew he was going to do it.
Yeah,
we knew what he was going to do.
I thought about that. No, you got to take Charlotte seriously because of what Forsberg said, and I wouldn't even think of this. On draft night, when Cooper Flagg is crowned, rightfully so, I didn't think anybody really had a chance of challenging him for Rookie of the Year. But Concanipple, his teammate at Duke, certainly does. Already has a 3-point record for rookies. And they've got some talent on that roster. Now, look, they're not complete yet. They probably need a couple more pieces to be legitimate contenders. But you can't fall asleep against this team and think, we're just going to rack up a victory.
I'm telling you, they're, when you watch them now, like, I'm blown away at the progress they've made and the way it's come together, the way they can hit you offensively. Like, Celtics just got to be ready. And I know we'll joke about it, but, like, Tatum gets reinvigorated, right? They're home for 2 games. You might think it's going to be Friday. You might think it's going to be Wednesday. You might push further out, but it's time to start, perking up and paying attention to whether these might be the games. And he did always say, loves playing the Hornets on League Pass or NBC Sports Boston, or whatever you want to see. Oh, what are you holding up?
Out. The problem is you got white and I'm mixed, so it's like you're not going to see it. It says out to probable because that's what I'm trying to look for when it comes to the injury report for Jason Tatum.
I got you.
Man, I got darker over the past couple of days.
What is that?
Get her a Sharpie.
Celtics are back in action Wednesday.
Yeah, Sharpie. Go Sharpie.
Our coverage, it starts at 7 p.m. with pregame live presented by TD, and then stay with us after the game. We got the highlights and player and coach reaction on Celtics postgame live, which is presented by your New England Ford dealers. And remember, you can stream all of our coverage all on the NBC Sports app, and it's also on NBCSportsBoston.com. The Celtics live stream, it is brought to you by your New England Cadillac dealers, the official luxury vehicle of the Boston Celtics. Woo!
10:45 BST, Michael Hawley.
That's good. Hey, listen, I was told 11. We get in 15 minutes early.
Felger out more than Giannis.
Hey, that's a great line. I'm going to tell Felger that one. More off days than Giannis.
Stick around for BST.
We'll be all right.
We'll see you guys soon.
See you Wednesday.
Wednesday.